Prosecutors favor a March start date. They want to avoid further delays for victims and their family members. But the defense says the court should wait until this December to decide because there are still pretrial matters to litigate and COVID-19 has interfered with their investigation. Colville would not say Monday when he will make a decision. Anley Herring in Pittsburgh.
It is Morning Edition at 8:32. The system for registering child abusers in the Pennsylvania State Child Abuse Registry is unconstitutional. That's according to a lawsuit filed by parents, caregivers, and community organizations. More from WHYY's Zoe Reed.
People can be registered as child abusers on the Childline Registry before they've had a hearing. And that, the lawsuit says, violates their right to due process under the state constitution. The lawsuit asks the Commonwealth Court to require the state to provide notice to those accused of child abuse and to give them a chance to respond before their names are added to the registry. Attorney Tad Levan says though people can get their names removed, the difficult process can take up to 2 years, and many don't even know the process exists.
There are a number of specific types of industries that absolutely prohibit employers from hiring anyone whose name is listed on the registry. We have one of our petitioners who may be forced to drop out of nursing school because her name is still on the list.
A spokesperson for the Department of Human Services says they can't comment on pending litigation. Zoe Reed, WHYY News.
8:33 now. An interesting story coming up. Scientists seeking to learn about prehistoric oceans have flocked to kind of an unlikely place, western Kansas. And we'll hear about that at 8:45. Morning Edition continuing. On your Tuesday, August 16th, good morning.
Support for NPR comes from this station and from Procter & Gamble, maker of Metamucil, a fiber supplement containing psyllium, a plant-based fiber for trapping and removing waste in the digestive system, designed to be taken every day. More at metamucil.com. And from Data IQ, a platform for everyday AI, to help organizations make AI part of their daily business, designed to elevate people, teams, and companies. DATAIKU.com.
This is Morning Edition from NPR News. I'm Layla Falden.
And I'm Steve Inskeep. According to the head of an election commission, Kenya has a new president-elect.
The current deputy president, William Ruto, narrowly defeated his challenger. In some parts of Kenya, people received the news with violent protests. Others celebrated. The announcement follows a bitter election and a chaotic announcement of the results.
All of which NPR's East Africa correspondent Ader Peralta has been covering. He is in Nairobi. Hey there, Ader.
Hey, Steve.
So, how did yesterday unfold?
It was chaos. First off, right before an announcement, 4 out of the 7 electoral commissioners in the country defected. They left the main tallying center and told reporters that the counting was, quote, opaque, and they couldn't stand by the final result. And it's important to note that one of the lead candidates in this race had already made claims of rigging. And so the electoral chief pressed on after this happened, and when he got on stage to announce the results, he was attacked. A mob just jumped on stage, they hit some elections officials with chairs, and somehow the choir kept singing, and somehow the commissioner came back on stage and declared the results. He said that Deputy President William Ruto had beat Kenya's longtime opposition leader Raila Odinga by a slim margin, less than 2% of the vote.
I don't want to get lost in the intricacies of Kenyan election law, but if 4 of the 7 members of the commission defected and did not accept the results, but the head of the commission said the results, those are the results? That is, it's legal? That this is a final finding?
Well, look, the opposition leader, the loser here, has 7 days to take this to court, and I'm sure that will be litigated.
What have you been hearing and seeing outside of that chaotic and attacked announcement of the election results?
So look, last night we heard celebration, but also anger, because this is a bitterly divided country, as that result tells you. It's almost 50-50, and at least a couple of people were killed in the violent protests that erupted last night. But then, as the night wore on and the fire started to die down, I heard reflection. I spoke to a young guy, Martin Iminga, and he was hoping that the violence that we had seen earlier wouldn't once again get dragged into disagreements with their politicians. Let's listen.
I'm from Masai, I'm a Masai. My neighbor is a Luo. If I go to my neighbor, he's going to give me food if I don't have food. So if I think some beyond election, then I will fight my neighbor.
I want to understand what exactly is going on with the opposition here, Peter, which seems to be the key question. We in the United States witnessed in the last couple of years a circumstance in which a presidential candidate had clearly a strategy. He talked about how the election was going to be fraudulent months before. And on the night of the election, a plan for himself to win that he was the plan whatsoever. It was just a lie, a larger strategy. When Odinga stopped short of accepting the election results, is that, as far as you can tell, a strategy, or is he just waiting for the final result? What's going on here?
I think it's a strategy. Raila Odinga has run 5 presidential campaigns before, and the last time around he ran, he lost. The courts here throughout that first election, they re-ran it, and right now this started as one of the most credible elections that Kenya has run. They made public raw data about 46,000 polling stations, and he is saying that they're rigged, but he's providing no evidence for it so far.
Peter, thanks for the update. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve.
And Cressida Peralta is in Nairobi.
Millions of students are entering a third full college year since COVID hit. This year, there are fewer masks and more in-person classes for that more typical college experience. NPR's Alyssa Nadworny reports.
Do we want to roll this down to your car and get the rest of the stuff?
Sure. Outside Grace and Broad, a residence hall at Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond, junior Alex Luna is moving in. His mom, Beth, is helping him put his stuff, kitchen supplies, laundry detergent, into a big cardboard box on wheels.
I thought for sure when we loaded it up, it would fall apart, but it's holding up nicely.
They told reporter Megan Pauley of Virginia Public Media that they're both much more relaxed this semester when it comes to COVID. The only reminder of COVID in their move-in pile is Alex's expanded first aid kit in case he catches the virus.
We have sent him with some cough medicine, cough lozenges, just to take the edge off.
Across the parking lot, Jenna Curia and her boyfriend Donovan Green, both juniors, are unpacking their cars.
Oh, I take this one? Okay, you got it.
They wheel a big box of Donovan's belongings, his TV, a fan, up to the building.
This year is way easier than last year.
I agree.
And honestly, both years before that, because of COVID.
Their first 2 years in college were defined by the pandemic.
The first year, when things were really, really serious, I didn't go out whatsoever.
Most classes back then were online, and there were restrictions on gatherings and guests in the dorms. But this year, COVID on campus is becoming a memory. Rules are becoming a lot looser. There's no mask mandates, and after the last 2 years where Jenna has had only one in-person class,
I'm fully in person this semester, so I'm very excited.
all over the country, as college students are heading back to their campuses, they're finding their COVID requirements to mask, to test, to get vaccinated are easing. And there's a cautious confidence among college administrators.
I feel really comfortable entering this year. That is a new feeling.
Lisa Perlman leads the Campus Health Center at Worcester Polytechnic Institute in Massachusetts.
I don't think we can just forget about COVID at all. I do think we can kind of live with COVID.
At WPI, where Perlman works, they have discontinued weekly surveillance testing and shifted to provide rapid tests for those that feel sick or have been exposed. Masks are no longer required on campus, and students will now need to arrange their own isolation and quarantine space.